I know it's not my typical super high energy hello, and I apologize. I have been very sick for the past week with some insanity going on in my lungs. Um, so I don't know if you can hear it, but I'm very much in the bass register of my voice today. So you'll all get that nice low rumble today. That's we're doing things. But I've got, thankfully, a healer DM with me today. Hey, who the fuck is over there? Is that a Connor?
All day. All day, twice on Sundays. Hi, everybody. It's great to see you. Thanks for joining us today. Thank you, Kyle, for being dedicated and hopping on to visit with everybody who's watching for just a little bit and talking about the Patchwork Planet.
Absolutely. And before we get started, I absolutely want to give a huge shout out to our new sponsors. We have a fabulous new sponsor for this delightful show. We in fact have a fabulous new sponsor for all of our shows. Hero Forge Minis has agreed to actually sponsor our channel, which is super exciting. We use Hero Forge Minis in all of the games that we play. We absolutely adore them. We have leveled up our streaming so dramatically because we get to use Hero Forge materials. Just those 3D things just make me so insanely happy. They're so easy to make. There's so many options that you've got there. And so even if you don't like, I'm not going to give it to you today because of my throat, but I'm a vocalist. I'm a performing artist. I am not a visual artist. And this allows me to actually sort of bring the character that I have in my brain actually into the world in a form that is not a stick figure, which is about the best you could hope from me. So thank you so much, Hero Forge. You are amazing. And everybody, please go and say hi to them. Go, if you want to level up your character design as well, definitely head over to heroforge.com and do that very thing. They are glorious. So,
Can't speak highly enough.
Yeah, they are amazing. I would like to let everyone know that today we're going to be doing something very interesting. So for many months now, I have had the BBEG for season 2 ready to go. Her name is Keel Nasi. She was the Lich. Before I got sick, and I don't know, maybe if this is what happened, like there was just too much power in the last episode and it shattered my whole universe. She got transformed, utilizing the power of 3 different planar touchstones all being used at once. She got transformed from a Lich to a Solar, the most powerful kind of angel. So this evil undead Lich got transformed into the Solar for the Patchwork Planet, which now creates a whole bunch of new and unique, let's call them opportunities. But essentially, what we're going to be doing today is we're going to be statting out an undead Lich Solar. So a astonishingly powerful undead angel with both necrotic and radiant abilities, and what that really looks like. Like what is this actually, this transformation, what is this gonna do? Who is she gonna become? All of that good stuff. So buckle up, because it's time to see just how bad an angel can be. So
ready.
let's start. I want to start with, so if we're gonna do all of this stuff here. Let me see. Then I'm going to pull this out. I'm going to keep in this thing, let's just keep this at the top. And then I'm going to, underneath the stat block, I'm going to create some new stuff. So now, so that there is, so I'm going to do like history, and I'd like to do abilities in there. And then we can figure out, as we go through, we can figure out what this actually looks like what are, because I'd like to get the story of her down first, and then we can actually plug in what works there. And if we need to like create a new spell or something like that, we can absolutely do that. No worries at all. Mm-hmm. So let's start with history. And like all of these, we have got pre-breaking. And then what's the second part called? The God, it's not reunification. It's something else. I'm gonna warn everybody, my brain hurts so much right now. I have not had more than 2 hours of sleep at any given point in the last week. So because of coughing. So please bear with me today as we are moving through, doing all the things. And especially chat today, I would love to hear your opinions on what's going on, how we're developing this, like what cool things she should be able to do now that she's been sort of kicked up a notch. But to start, so we've got Kildasi, pre-breaking. She was the queen of changelings in Nonked. She was quite used to intrigue in like court intrigue and things like that. They were constantly trying to kill each other. Like this was the land of the god of survival. And so they would use any means necessary to take power. And you had to be able to survive all kinds of stuff. So she survived any number of assassination attempts. That's going to be a thing that I think. Abilities, layer actions. It's definitely going to be a thing for her. Used to assassination attempts. Pre-breaking, she was a powerful diviner. One of the most powerful diviners on the planet. She saw the breaking coming. In order to maintain power for her line, she became a lich. She created a powerful artifact that combined her phylactery and a mind flayer crown that allowed her to generate a hive mind in her. She then gave that crown to her daughter, and escaped the destruction of her world by going to the Shadowfell. So she knew what was coming.
Mm-hmm.
She knew how to protect herself. She's always one step ahead, right? Which I love. Now, what was she doing in the Shadowfell for 1,000 years? Because it's been 1,000 years in the Shadowfell. So pre-breaking then the reunification, Hilnasi spent 1,000 years in the Shadowfell, developing a new artifact that could separate a soul from its body and place it in another vessel with almost no power required. This is the thing that she's been using to create her whole arm. So that was the artifact that she was developing. She also spent much time researching planar touchstones in order to find out how the universe was going to bend over the next several centuries. So she knows about artifacts. So she's an artificer. She knows about planar touchstones. She knows all kinds of stuff. Now, we get to when she comes back, when the world opened up again, Kilnasi came back to Nanked to find that her descendants had lost her artifact and lost control of her country. She killed her great granddaughter and took control of the country back. Immediately, she set about generating undead and war-forged armies while contacting several other planes in order to make treaties that would allow for powerful monsters to fight in her armies. Our armies, as she took control of this world. So that all happened. She was ready to go, doing all the things, right? And then all of a sudden, she gets turned into a goddamn solar. So, in my mind, the first thing that we need to look at is we need to look at the solars. I know that this is something that that WotC wants to sort of pull out of most things, is that sort of like intrinsic alignment that comes with a race.
Except when we're talking about angels and fiends.
Sure.
Right? Because they're supposed to embody that sort of key concept there. So this is why I'm so fascinated, because when you're melding something that is supposed to be an energy that's associated very strongly with good, and then you're combining a power mad undead caster with a number of experiences under her, that those two things are going to be melded in very unusual ways. So I find this entire idea just incredibly interesting. When we're talking about, people like us, we are more morally gray. We do not represent a force of good or a force of evil. We are simply people. But for her, well, she's undead, a corruption of life, and she's also, apparently now, she's had this huge blast of goodness put into her. But how does that look like?
So essentially what happened is that when the planar touchstones, one of the characters has a planar touchstone that allows them to control opposing forces.
Okay.
And so what they can do is they can choose like two planes of existence, and they can imbue two creatures. They have to be opposing planes. So like Limbo and Mechanus, something like that. And they can infuse two creatures they see with the infusion of that plane, right? Now, if those two creatures come into contact with each other, they create this massive explosion, and there's a 50% chance that they'll either take massive damage and everything around them will take massive damage, or they will get transported to the opposing plane. And so she can set it up, so that you can keep people separated if she needs to, or, things like that. And interesting things will happen depending on which plays she chooses. So she chose Celestia, which is a lawfully good domain. And I was like, okay, if you want to choose Celestia, then that means the opposing plane that you have to pick then would be the Abyss.
The Abyss, yeah.
Has to be. And so she did that, and then two other people came in with their touchstones and started amplifying things. And so all of this, and then there was a giant explosion, and all this energy from Celestia had to be channeled one place, and that was Kiel-Nasi. So getting that shock of powerfully lawful good, like slammed into you. In our world, the solar, how like for each solar system, there is one solar. And then for each planet in the solar system, you'll have planetars, and then you'll have divas that go and do assignments for the planetars.
Right.
We lost the solar for the Patchwork Planet when we were in Arborea. So there was no solar. So this huge burst of energy essentially created the new solar for the Patchwork Planet. Who is also now goddamn witch. So,
yes.
All right, so that is what has happened. So now, I would like to see, so in my mind, what that means is that while it might change the way she feels about things, it does not alter the experiences that she's had.
Correct.
Which means that she still has an astonishing amount of magical knowledge. It would not have gotten rid of her ability to cast spells or anything like that, right?
Right.
I feel like for her, it's all been about, because she's a lich, it's all been about negative energy, necrotic energy, all that kind of stuff. That's sort of what she's been focusing on for 1,000 years. And now she has a brand new resource, which is radiance. You know, and what that looks like. So my first question would be, and my first question is going to be, if you combine radiant and necrotic damage, what do you get? As these are fundamental forces in the universe. Is that a new kind of energy? Is that what like force is made up of? Is that what psychic energy is made up of? Like, what's the result?
So, wow, that's a good question. Radiant energy is supposed to be the force of light, at least in 5e cosmology. The negative energy is the force of decay. So we've got somebody who somebody said glowing death in the chat.
Absolutely.
Phantom did. And part of me wants to say that might be closest because you've got light and you've got death. Radiation. You've got energy that destroys the things it touches.
Well, I'm wondering, okay, so radiant damage in my mind is sort of, because the analog in 3.5 would have been positive energy and negative energy.
Positive energy and negative energy.
Yeah. And positive energy is where healing comes from, and negative energy is where undeath comes from. Positive energy is supposed to be like the stuff of life, and negative energy is its opposite, and it's the thing that can empower undead.
Right.
If that's the case, I feel like instead of combining the two, I think Kilnasi might have enough information at her fingertips to be able to, and now that she can manipulate radiant energy, because Solars don't just spray radiant energy, they can manipulate healing, they can manipulate life, you know. I think maybe she's got like some abilities that allow her to literally like suck the life out of somebody to empower her own spells, her own necrotic damage that she can.
Mm-hmm.
I think that maybe that's a thing that might start. Ooh. I think we should give her, to start, a 2-turn ability where on the first turn she sucks life out of people, and then on the second turn she does like a huge necrotic explosion with it, as it empowers something, like it allows her to do like a huge spell or do something with one of the spells she already knows. How do we feel about that?
I would come back and say it sounds cool. My concern would be, you know, I've designed a lot of monsters, would be how often do you get 2 rounds in combat?
So this is a BBEG. So there will be several rounds, you know. So this is one of those absolutely good question, absolutely great concern. Yes, I've had that problem many times. But because this is the BBEG, the season finale, I feel like she will absolutely have enough time to do some really cool shit, you know. Oh my God. All right. Let's see. Let's look at this. Maybe a matter antimatter feel to this new magic. Ooh, I like that. That's a very interesting. Huh.
Yeah.
You know what? I feel like that could absolutely be a thing. That there's. Ooh, that's a whole other concept. Sorry, I'm like, what? Ooh, this is a new fun concept. That they are completely incompatible, and therefore, I can't be held at the same time. Like if she uses radiance if she does anything with radiant damage in one round, she can do nothing with necrotic damage that round. She has to choose which one to channel. That might be a very interesting weakness.
It could be, and there's definitely precedent for that in 5e when, as a cleric, when you choose to cast, for example, Spirit Guardians, it's either radiant or necrotic. You don't get to choose both.
Yeah.
Right. When that spell's going on, so maybe these energies are so fundamentally diametrically opposed that you can only use one or the other.
I like it. Okay. It's starting to solidify a little bit for me now. Now that I'm sort of getting into what's happening. So one of the things we're going to say about the changes is that Kilnasi can't use radiant and necrotic energy in the same round. I'm
looking over this. I'm looking over existing stat blocks in D&D Beyond for the fundamental features for Lich and the fundamental features for Solar.
Yeah.
And there certainly are innate things that they can pick and choose from. And it could be that we reflect that with two separate spellcasting traits. So, that says that, with a quality that says on each round at the beginning of the turn, Kilnasi must declare whether she is using this spellcasting list or this spellcasting list.
Ooh, what about this? Every round she has to do a wisdom saving throw. And if she fails, she can only use radiant. She's forced to maintain, and each consecutive round that she uses that radiance, she gets sort of closer to the ideals of a solar. And that she has to then, so while she's fighting, she's fighting herself as well as everyone else. That there's I think that might be really interesting, that she's like utilizing, and especially like some sort of thing, like I know there's like a whole bunch of situations where it's like if you miss 3 wisdom saving throws in a row or 3 dexterity saving throws in a row for certain things, like you'll go from like restrained to petrified, or like disintegrate, or things like that. I feel like that could absolutely be something that they're going through, this internal fight where they want to do, they want to throw some insane like finger of death or power word kill at somebody.
Right. Those awesome. Looking at power word kill 9th level, power word stun 8th level, finger of death 7th level, and then if they fail their savings or that round, they do not have access to their spellcasting traits, because a solar by itself has innate spellcasting,
Yeah.
but doesn't have actual spellcasting.
Well,
So,
I think what I'd love to do, and I think, ooh, this could get really dangerous and fabulous.
it could.
There is one of my favorite things to do is to utilize the 3.5 rules about radiant energy, where if you get, like, it keeps healing you, but if you heal too much, if you get to double your hit points, you just die because you explode, you know? I feel like it could be a very interesting choice that essentially all of her spells, that we can set it up so that all of the spells that she has are either things that like do really powerful damage like harm or, you know, finger of death, you know, stuff like that, disintegration. And if she fails her wisdom save, what they'll do is they'll heal instead of harm. But because she is a solar, there's no limit to her healing, so they won't just heal up to whatever their power is. You know, they can heal past that. So if she casts, you know, like, let's say she casts power word kill, which I think is if somebody has 150 hit points or less, they just automatically die.
Yeah, I want to say it's 100. 100 or less, they die, no saving throw. Just boom, dead.
If she's in her solar form, like, it could be that this is sort of a wild magic thing instead of at the beginning of each round, where every time she casts a spell or uses an ability, she has to do a wisdom saving throw. And if she succeeds on the wisdom saving throw, it does exactly what she wants. If it doesn't, it is like the opposite. So like Finger of Death, it wouldn't be if you're under 100 hit points, you die. It would be you just gain 100 hit points instantaneously, which for like a sorcerer or something like that could potentially be an insta-death, because it could get you to double your hit points and blow you up instantaneously, you know? So that would, I think, create a whole new set of problems for the warriors, where it's like she's got all of these spells that could instantaneously destroy you either way, you know? Like, so it's not like you just want to keep your hit points really high. It could be that if you keep your hit points really high, she'll just slam you with a healing spell and then you're dead anyway, you know? There's
taking a look here. Did you know? Okay, I see that. I was looking. I was like, you know, solars. So if she's got the energy of a solar, I'm looking like, okay, what do they have? They have very limited capacity to heal.
They what?
They have a very limited capacity to heal. They're not.
Don't
They're
they have
not
healing
really
touch?
They do, but only 4 times a day. And I'm learning about these as I'm looking at this, and they are better inclined to murder you than they are to actually help.
Well, they are the administrators of the entire solar system.
Yeah.
It's their job to make sure that the fiends don't get in and do terrible things there.
Wow. Okay. So yeah, that would work too. It would be easier to adjudicate that than it would be to write it out. You know, looking at it like, okay, like how would we put that in a stat block so that anybody could run it?
Well, and I think in that situation, what we could do is, instead of having access to a whole bunch of spells, because she has become a solar, it's sort of gone from the sort of lich type. So liches generally are wizard builds, you know. They've got, it's not a sorcerer type thing. They've got like limited spell slots, but they've got access to a shitload of different spells and spell books.
Indeed.
You know, it could absolutely change that for her, so that now all of the things that she can do are innate, because she's now connected directly to like the heart of the universe. But she's got to figure out how to use them. And in that situation, instead of having like a specific spell, we could do an ability that's Finger of Death, and each ability could be like, have first a thing that is every time she attempts to use one of her actions, she must do a wisdom saving throw, and the results will be shown within the action. So there's the action, it can be Finger of Death. If you fail the wisdom saving throw, it heals 100 points instead of killing someone.
Right. Yeah. And that would be the easiest way. Yeah, for sure. And not describing it as spells, because that'd be the tough thing.
So I think what we should do is we should pick, because I feel like we've got a good sense now of the sort of internal struggle. So the big bad is having struggle the same way that everyone on the battlefield is having struggle, and what they're going to do with it. I think we should pick. Let's call it. Let's do the sort of the sorcerer build, where it's like 9th, 8th, 7th, and 6th level. There's one spell, and then like 5th, 4th, there's 2, and then like 3rd, 2nd, and 1st, there's like 3. So that each one, and just make them instead of spell slots, these are just the limited abilities that she's now got, that she's stuck with, that she can utilize maybe a certain number of times a day. Like the higher level ones are once a day, so that it's not a spell slot thing. It's a times per day thing. How do we feel about that?
I would say let's see what it looks like in action.
All right, let's do it. All right. Saving throw. Saving throw. Before using any actions in order to maintain the destructive nature of her spells. All right, so abilities. Let's look at some spells. Which class do we want to take her spells from? Do we think we should stick with the wizard?
I'm thinking wizard. I'm looking through the list of spells for a lich that she would have access if she weren't combined with the solar, and they're pretty exclusively from the wizard spell list.
Okay. All right, so let's start with a fun 9th level spell.
Power word kill. It's I'm looking at the stat block for a lich. It's the only 9th level spell they got. So
that's the one.
It makes it easy.
So we've got fabulous. And that is definitely, Blade of Disaster is fun though. That is a fun one.
It is.
Maybe that could be the thing, is that like, if she fails her wisdom saving throw, it changes into something a Solar would cast instead. So like if she tries power word kill, but she fails her saving throw, then, the Solar, they are the martial forces of the angelic world. They're built to fight the fiends. So it can absolutely be, that suddenly there is this insanely powerful sword that she's now using.
Or we can you can look right at the Solar spell block. If she fails her saving throw, she uses this ability. And there's one Searing Burst that I think would be an amazing. I failed my saving throw and now I do this.
Okay, so is it about equivalent to a 9th level spell?
In a lot of ways. And so per the text, you suddenly emit a burst of radiant energy, and each creature within 10 feet has to make a dexterity saving throw and take fire and radiant damage combined on a failed save, or half as much on a successful. So she doesn't pull off the effect she wants. It's just like all of a sudden, boom! Here is a radiant energy burst that just hits everybody.
All right, let's see. So I'm gonna do 9th level. I'm gonna do power word kill. What are the other things that are available? Okay.
Teleport, blinding gaze, which blinds a creature.
Sure, that would be like a lower level one, because what's blindness deafness is what, like level 2, level 3, something like that?
Yeah, the big perk of it is that unlike the blind spell, you get saving throws. With this one, when you're blinded, you don't. You're blinded until somebody uses a magic to restore it.
Ooh, that's fabulous. Yes, well, I love team building worlds, Dirty 20. Like, there's absolutely. It's so nice to have another brain to bounce things off of, and to ask questions that I would not. Let me see. There's the Solar inside won't let them kill anyone with their necrotic damage. The final blow must be radiant. That is an interesting thought. I feel like it would not. It's an interesting thought. I just don't think that it fits into this space all that well, because it's not like she's been like converted or anything. It's that she's just been infused with the power of a Solar, that she doesn't really know how to deal with it. There's not like an extra soul.
Yeah, and the other weird thing is it says that Solars have no problem killing.
Yeah,
you know, as you know, the Solar being sees nothing wrong with just murdering things.
Yeah, no, it's fine. Well, and a part of that too is, and this is something that for a year I've been trying to sort of like get my players to understand, is that there are so many situations in the world, like most people in the world want to center the conversation on themselves. They want to be the center of their own universe. And part of being an adult is realizing that that is so very rarely actually the case. You know, that you are, unless you are living in a cabin in the woods and have absolute control over your food supplies and everything else that's going on with you, you're part of a community. And there are always going to be people in that community that are more powerful than you, that don't know you, that don't care, you know, and it's not a malicious thing. They're just people who have such different life experiences from you and who have so much more both power and responsibility. And I think that's that sort of wishful thinking part that we never really get to, is like, we have the wishful thinking about the mansion and the limo and, you know, the ability to go get a fabulous reservation, but we don't think about, okay, how many hours a day are you actually doing something, you know? And I think that that's where we're at with Solar, is that it's just, they don't care about most people. Like, their job is not to help you. That's a diva's job. A diva's job is to come and help you with your adventure, this thing that's gonna help save the town, or is going to help, you know, like stop this country from falling into darkness or something like that. The Solar's job is to come down and just end world-shattering events by destroying something, just pulling, literally their job is to come down and pull something off the field of battle and be like, now you all can do your jobs and we're done, you know, and then they fly back up to the sun and then start looking again. You know, their job is just sort of look and report and to deal with major things. And they don't care about that town, because in the grand scheme of things, in their eyes, it doesn't actually matter. It's not going to tip the balance in the universe too much, you know. There's like, what else? And so,
yeah. And there's a psychological theory that sort of says what you're looking at right there. anybody's familiar with the concept of Dunbar's number? Dunbar's number is a hard cap on our ability to maintain relationships with other people, not because we are mean or lack empathy, but because
I mean, I'm mean and I lack empathy. So
okay,
you know.
Kyle is mean and lacks empathy, but for the rest of us, it's hard for us to maintain relationships past about 150 people, and at a certain point, people stop being intimate connection and just simply are something else in our environment. And then our ability, our capacity to interact with them is based more less on empathy and connection, and more on our ingrained values, right?
Yeah.
This is how we treat people. This is what we say to people. These are the kindnesses we show people. That it's more about that, less about but then they feel this way, sorts of things. So the solar isn't doing what it's doing out of any sense of empathy. It's enacting a divine will. The lich, I mean, her capacity to care, the lich Kilnasi, her capacity to care is mostly about what her aims are, what her goals are, and less about what it does to other people.
Yeah. I think this is a really good question. What does Kilnasi or the area around Kilnasi look and sound like when the saving throw has failed and the necrotic powers cannot be harnessed? I think what it is there is an intrinsic ability for this lich who has been dealing with necrotic abilities for 1,000 years plus, to tap into the negative energy, right? Whereas now it's not about what's happening in the environment around them, it's just the source of their power switches. And because of that, cannot then be sort of like shaped into the same effect that it otherwise would be, just travels in a different way. It's the difference between, like sand and water, where in a lot of situations, it like sand and water will flow exactly the same way, but in other situations, like something will get clogged or something else will happen. Like you can't build anything with the water the same way you could with the sand, and you couldn't, like the sand will clog up a fine mesh, whereas the water won't. Things like that, where it's not about what happens in the world around them, it's just the source of it, and then can it accomplish the thing that you want? And it's like with Power Word Kill, it's definitely a, hey, we are going to, like, the negative energy is literally just going to suck your soul out. You're just going to die. And that's it, And then suddenly you're trying to do that, but now it's positive energy. And the positive energy, all you're doing is just building it up, and so it explodes instead, So absolutely, I'm 100% there for that. That was a fabulous question. Like all right. So it's Power Word Kill, and then what's the other ability?
There are two solar positive energy sort of effects, and you could pick which one depending on if the spell only has one target or has an area of effect. The single target is blinding.
Yeah.
The effect in area is the searing burst. So as it's described, the solar ability for blinding gaze, choose one creature you see within 30 feet, save on Constitution save or be blinded until magic heals it. This says lesser restoration. It calls out lesser restoration. Magic such as lesser restoration removes it.
Okay.
Searing burst, that's where it's pretty indiscriminate. Anybody within 10 feet has to save. And save DC is actually pretty high for it. And if you fail, you take 4d6 fire plus 4d6 radiant, or half as much on a successful save. So she can't pull off these negative energy effects. Her spell casting that's so keyed into the energy of death, and instead she just shoots out a bunch of radiant energy every which way, and has a limited capacity in which to use her death magic. But her positive energy magic also isn't that nice.
Yeah.
It has the exact effect you were talking about. Like it would also hurt the person, just not the way she intended.
All right, so we've got those. I'm going to say Searing Burst to me, because it's 8d6 total damage. That's like a fireball.
Mm-hmm. It's like a fireball centered on her.
Yeah, and that's like, so that's only like a 3rd level spell, really. You know, and it's not even as powerful as fireball because the radius isn't nearly as big. It's only 10-foot radius instead of 20-foot radius. So I think for the spell as powerful as Power Word Kill is,
mm-hmm.
I think I'd like to do something I'm trying to think. So there's like the flying sword ability,
mm-hmm.
which she's got. There's like blade barrier, control weather, things like that. Oh my god. She can do resurrection 3 times a day.
She sure can.
I feel like in that situation, Power Word Kill, if she fails her wisdom saving throw, she casts resurrection instead. That those are the 2 things that are tied together, and it's just, I feel like that would be a reason for her not to cast her super high level powers. You know, that'll sort of. All right. How do we feel about that? Where it's like, you know, because I feel like that very specifically is like, you are attempting to just like rip somebody's the life out, and instead it just shoves it into them. I hate it is totally fine, and we can move on.
No, I'm so my brain is grokking, right? So Power Word Kill, you cast on a living creature, and you can't cast resurrection on a living creature. So that's where my brain is having a hard time grokking. Unless it's like she cannot cast Power Word Kill, instead she must resurrect.
Okay, so if somebody, so Power Word Kill is so that's, yeah, if it's less than 100 hit points.
Instead she casts Heal, I'd say would be the exact opposite. Restore the creature to full hit points and cure all conditions.
There is, I think, with the caveat, here, let me pop it into here.
Mm-hmm.
Changes. Kilnasi's healing abilities aren't constrained by the upper limits of someone's HP. A person will die if their HP is doubled at any point. And I think heal, how much healing does heal actually do?
All of it.
It goes all the way up?
Yeah.
Okay.
But you could say if a creature is already at full hit points, they die. Yeah, because I want to say heal is all of it. That's my first.
I feel like, let's see. So we've got, so heal is causing it to gain 70 hit points.
Is it 70?
Yeah.
Okay.
It also ends blindness, deafness, and any.
I'm thinking
Oh,
of
so
power
it's-
word heal.
So is there a power word heal?
There is. There
Oh.
is a power word heal. That's how often it gets cast. It's in the player's handbook, and it just target regains all hit points. If the creature is charmed, frightened, paralyzed, or stunned, the condition ends. If the creature is prone, it can use its reaction to stand up.
Oh.
Mhm.
Okay.
So that's what power word heal does.
Love it. All right. So then we'll do power word kill / power word heal. And yeah, so this will be, so heal will, I think what we can say is that heal will simply double the total hit points. So double, so if they're already at maximum hit points, it'll kill them. But if they're not, then they'll just get double whatever they currently have. Heal will double a character's current HP. All right, fabulous.
The
She wouldn't, because most of the time, like, she's intelligent enough to not use power word kill on someone that's at full hit points, especially like a fighter or something
Right.
like that, right? So the likelihood of her actually killing somebody with this will be low. Because it's one of those things where I want the fight to last a while, and I hope some people go down. Because you know, sometimes players just need to remember this is dangerous.
This reminds me of my Curse of Strahd game. Yeah. Last weekend.
There's power heal. This spell has no effect on undead or constructs. Oh.
Mm-hmm. It's true.
So it would not work on one of our characters. That's interesting. New and exciting. I like it. All right. So, right. So that's our 9th level thing. Let's do, and I feel like she can have, we could do, I feel like there could be a couple of things going on with Kilnasi as she's struggling with her new abilities. One is the wisdom saving throw, and the other is rolling a d10 each round, and there'll be a sort of like 0 through 9 level, and she can only utilize powers of the level that you roll or below for that round, so that she can't just keep spamming crazy things the whole time.
That is very reminiscent of a beholder.
Yeah, I do love a good beholder. I'm not gonna lie. That's why I've created 2. They make me very happy. All right, so let's look at 8th level spells for a fun little lich. Let's see what's available here for a nice little wizardy lady. So there's things that are just sort of horrifically powerful. Feeble Mind is always a good one. There's nothing that's like just Horrid Wilting might be good. And that could absolutely be, as you're like trying to sort of like utilize heat to suck liquid out, then you could do the Sunburst as well, if you wanted to for that. Let me see. But before we get to that, why don't we take a little break for just a moment as we start getting into some of the lower level powers and seeing how all these mechanics are going to go. I'm going to get a little more caffeine. And you should all go head down to the About section and go head over to Hero Forge, who is our fabulous sponsor for today, and go get you some delightful minis.
Yep.
And make some characters.
When we come back, I'm going to show some of the amazing Hero Forge minis I've had printed. I'm such a huge fan that I've been using them for years and years and years.
Yeah.
I've got a number of minis that just get the best reaction on the table. You can use them electronically, which is great, but they're physical prints too, like just all around, just a wonderful,
Yeah,
a wonderful service.
absolutely. I love it. Yay. So yes, we will be back in just a few moments, and we will see you in just a bit. And Lando will put the card up in just a sec so we can go take a little break. What we're going to do. Lando has been on mute so that he doesn't hear all this stuff because he's in the campaign.
He's also the producer behind the scenes right now.
So he's trying. So we'll tap dance for a minute. Just be like, hey, la-ta-ta, la-ta-tee, la-ta-ta. You know how we do it. Cha-cha, cha-cha-cha-cha-cha. And they did, Bully. They did. Our mod got kidnapped by a bunch of tech goblins. And, you know, I have a great appreciation for the fact that goblins have decided to go back to school, re-educate themselves about technology. And now, instead of just living in the muck, they live in our computers. And I think that's your government dollars at work right there, is retraining goblins. So you know what, I'm gonna send him a thing over here, and we'll see what's going on. So now we've got it going in Discord, so that's good. And over here, there's a, so yeah, he says he's here. There's a, I'm not sure what's going on. Got a little message, I'm here. It's like, are you though? Are you here? Are you?
Like I said, I just appreciate that he is so willing to not listen because he doesn't want
right.
to.
We're gonna take a little break. We'll see you all in a few minutes.
See everybody in a few.
Hello again, everybody. You are all having. I'm trying so hard to like keep the energy up. I'm like, I'm dying. I'm still so sorry. There's not, but I'm not like so dead that I can't sit up. You know, at this point, so I get to spend my Sunday with you, delightful people. So that's always very nice. That's part of the healing, is getting to be out and about again. So getting to talk to people. I want to see some of your Hero Forge minis, and then what we're actually going to do is we're going to pop over to Hero Forge, and we are actually going to create our Kilnasi character. So I'm very excited.
Yeah, you can sit and watch the tools being used, you know, since they're a new sponsor, see what sorts of things you can do within their website. It's pretty cool.
It's neato. Yeah, so hey, I want to see some of yours that you've created before.
Okay, so when you talk about physical minis, you're going to get to see the electronic interface today in just a couple moments. But when we're talking about creating physical minis, there are a couple ways that Hero Forge can do them for you. They can either 3D print a high quality model for you to get home and paint, or they can also directly print it in color. They have 3D color printing, and so the color is baked right into the model, and you won't have to do any painting on your own. I have a number of minis that are around me that I've used with the 3D color printing method. So if you're not very comfortable with printing, you're like, well, I want to print a model and want to have it look all nice and colorful, but I'm worried that my skills of painting aren't up to par. What do they look like? And so I've got a couple of them here. So this first one is Kikri. I played Kikri on a stream and really enjoyed it. So once the camera focuses, you should see that Kikri is a seagull Aarakocra, and you can see that it came printed in color, but you can see that there's a gradient on the wings going from white to black on the tips. That's pretty solid. If I were to flip it around to the rear end of his spear, the flaming spear, there's actually a lighting gradient that's put into the ink on the mini that actually reflects a little bit of the light from the bluish light from the spear right onto the feathers themselves, which is kind of cool.
Yay! I love that.
Yeah, they've done a few. This is Falk. Falk is a charlatan who often dresses up like a sailor. And you can see that, like I said, I put no color to this myself, but there is a good precision and detail there.
Yeah.
As far as what they look like, including some purplish light emanating from his fingertips as he casts a spell. Now,
I love it.
If you're somebody that really enjoys printing or painting, then their minis are really high quality and personalized. So this is one I painted. And for this, you can see that there are the details that are in it creates for a very solid. I'm hoping my camera can resolve well enough, but and there's enough small detail there that it is you can really work with it and put a lot of color and shading and gradient. This is my painting, which is not professional quality, but for a tabletop, it's solid. If you get a professional style painter to paint it, though, one who's actually paid and competes. My friend Frank is an incredibly skilled painter. Has taken home prizes at ReaperCon, which is a big miniatures and painting expo, and he can do things like this, and it is just absolutely phenomenal. Just the quality of the work. And you can get this from our sponsor, Hero Forge. Physical minis for your at-home game as the world continues to sort of open up a little bit. Maybe you want that. Or you can use the electronic interface, create your own custom tokens and art images. And that's what you're getting ready to see now.
Absolutely. Yeah, Dirty 20. Like, yeah, there were a couple of characters that I am considering in the bronze.
Mhm. I
Yeah,
have
yeah,
one of those also.
yeah. They're
It's
so
heavy.
pretty.
It's heavy and pretty.
Yeah, I love it. Well, hey, let's see. So Lando's going to open up our Hero Forge, and we're going to go create some Kilnasi. So, all right, delightful. So let's jump over there, and we can see the basics, like everything that you can look at over there. They've got like a million different options for everything, and you can go in and you can like just shift things on your own, right? Um, so I think to begin with, we want the undead template to start with,
I agree.
right?
That just makes
So
sense. I think it's down towards the bottom. And
yeah,
there's
absolutely.
zombie or skeleton. I think those are the only two.
There is, I can't really see much on the sides. I can
Oh,
only
you know
see
what?
the
Okay,
center.
if you give me a minute, I can open it up. This was designed
Okay.
for the wow, the document. So it's not the full screen. It's cropped down.
Yeah, okay. All
Okay.
right.
Okay, give me.
Yeah, Bali's like the level 8 spell would be clone. And it's for me the issue there is I want things that are going to be effective like in that moment. And clone is one of those things that it takes a while to cast, and there's already technically that sort of aspect to a lich with their phylacteries. So it's like the phylacteries will clone a lich.
There are some spells that work really well as an off-camera sort of aspect to a character, and I wouldn't rule out that maybe she would create clones. But it's one of those things, that often better worked into the story. Oh, look what she actually cast. There's a Dream is another great example. You don't see it cast very often during a game because it's got such heavy story elements.
Yeah.
It requires very specific circumstances for it to work.
Oh, all right, Lando, that looks good.
Let me make sure the top. Cool.
All right, so yeah, let's look at this. So where are my undead?
So there's skeletons and zombies, which are up here. Or we could just immediately go into Celestial and then choose a face type. I believe we can do that. This is the whole package of a character type. So we can adjust it as needed. But these are the zombies. That's the zombie. Okay. That's the skeleton. Because I believe you can...
There is a huge... So I'm looking at this on stream. And there is a huge delay. So say...
Oh, that's...
Here's this
that makes sense. That makes sense.
Oh, God.
Okay, I will adjust. I will adjust.
All right. So if we've got... Right, so if we start with that... so first off, let's look... What's the first thing that we're doing?
Well, the first thing is the species, but we can change all of these things, which I actually...
So species. Let's definitely go with an undead.
Yeah, let's go with undead. And part of me wants to say a zombie over a skeleton.
That makes sense.
Yeah, I like that. Just sort of
some flesh on her.
So here's a question: is she gonna have wings?
Yes.
Okay.
We can add those later.
Yeah.
Okay. Zombie. Okay.
Yeah.
And so this is the basic female zombie build.
Okay.
I like it.
Yeah, there we go. All right, so what's next?
Next is we have head, which has a lot of different features. Face, ears, hair, beard, all the kind of things that would be on the face.
and we already have a face that's very much the sort of zombie face. But what about do we want to customize her hair?
Well, so what are the choices? So we'll start. So the first thing is face, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, I like the face just like it is. I love that. So then the next thing will be the hair.
Well, ears, but we probably don't need to mess with those. She's a zombie.
And is she in her life? Was she an elf? Was she?
That's
human?
a good point.
Changeling.
She was changeling. So that would be like an elvish ear sorts of thing, or a human ear sort of thing. Okay.
All right, so we've got the ears popped in there. What's next?
Then we have hair.
All right, I'm thinking elegant.
Mm-hmm.
She has been an empress for more than 1,000 years.
Mm-hmm.
And now she just keeps getting more powerful.
I'm also getting boss lady vibes. Is there something with a power bun?
That's exactly what I was thinking.
Like,
So
do we go for power bun?
No, that looks like old lady. Look.
There's so many options.
Power bun.
Yeah, there should be something that is
hair on top of the head.
It's an updo. It's got to be an updo. Kilnasi definitely has an updo.
Yeah, that could work.
I want something more stacked on top of the head.
Oh, yeah.
So there's this, but this is more dreads. I don't know if we want dreads necessarily.
It could work. Let's see it. Put it on her.
Yeah, especially if you do the colors correctly.
There's a power bun for you.
And then we also have this as well. This just looks like a regular bun. Well, I'm waiting for the stream to catch up.
Yeah, I'm so far
double
behind you right now. Is there any way that you could maybe share your screen in the chat or anything?
Your screen in the chat. Oh, let me see what that looks like.
Yeah, so that we're actually on, because I'm literally like almost 60 seconds behind you at this point. Yeah, I do love the concept of the beehive.
Oh, that just takes you guys out of the camera. Hold on one. Oh. Well, in order to share my screen, we lose your guys' video.
Right. It's okay. We'll deal with the behind a little bit.
Yeah. So I definitely don't want the
first
double
one.
buttons.
Yeah. That was bad. I just left it on there because I was doing the other thing. But I think this might be the best candidate.
With the braids that are pulled up into a bun.
Yeah, they say they're dreads, but it looks enough like braids where it doesn't have to be.
Okay. I like it.
Awesome. All right, what is next?
Next is beard, which
we don't need that.
Doesn't
She's not a dwarf.
Don't think so. Eyebrows is next,
which we don't really need. I'm good with no.
Yeah.
With your eyebrows.
Eyes, I think you have 3 options for eyes. We have robotic, alien, and regular eyeballs, so that's probably okay there.
Regular.
Teeth.
Regular eyeballs are good.
We have different options for teeth. I will let that pop up. There we go.
Like how her face looks. Right now she's got human, like the basic humanoid teeth with no tusks or fangs or anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we could do like sharpened teeth.
Yeah, something like this.
So again, delay.
Yeah.
So
I think one thing that would be helpful, and what I usually do when I create a model, is I add like a basic color scheme to it, just initially. So I think it helps with the visualization. I think we're gonna do this. just as a good baseline, and then we'll go back to the head.
Lando, you are fucking killing me with this delay.
But it's wonderful. By all means, I would absolutely apply a basic color scheme to it. It does help. And this is something I've never, like, with all the time I've used it, I've never done that first, and it makes such total sense.
Okay, so now we can see Keith a little better.
You can see her better, yeah. And the people at home can see her better too.
Sweet.
Nice.
And then the last option for face is horns. Which, you know, they could add a little flavor.
I feel like there will be enough going on with Kilnosky that we don't need to add horns.
Yeah, that's probably true. Oh, they do have an option, however, for a halo.
They do.
Oh, I think that would be interesting.
Is this a? Oh, this is a halo. Because I know they have a hook where you could have it as an ornament. That this is different though. And add that. Now she's a holy zombie.
That's right. That's what she's supposed to be.
Yeah.
No.
No. No.
She's not.
Oh, she's
She's
not.
decidedly not.
Oops.
No.
Oops.
No.
I thought, yeah, my bad.
Part of me wants to say no halo, but use wings.
I'm looking at the halo and I'm like, part of it for me looks like, because of the updo, it looks sort of like a hat. Like she's got a cool hat.
We can also toggle it on and off
Could
once we're done with everything and decide later if that helps.
Let's let's keep the halo for now, and then we can toggle it off later. All right, what's the next thing?
Next is body.
Body. So
we have. I'm just gonna say it.
Obviously,
and then
we
delay.
want like emaciated,
right,
like she's undead.
And when we in the very beginning when we chose, one of the cool things about Hero Forge is when we choose the species, it actually toggles these and changes them to a certain proportion that more closely matches your standard sort of fantasy notions of how they look. And so when we chose zombie, we automatically got emaciated thrown in. And if you look at her arms are very thin. Her face is very drawn.
I think we can definitely like reduce chest and hips too.
Mm-hmm, that is an option under the individual proportions.
Yeah, this is just the type of the torso is the type of torso.
Yeah, she hasn't been trying to go on a date in a while, so
she's slightly busy. And then the next is legs, which I believe will also choose the same type of legs as the torso. And that's correct. We have the damaged.
That is correct.
Damaged.
Mm-hmm.
So
I do like the damage.
I think that's good. And then we have measurements, which
That's
this is where you
can
can play
proportions.
lots of different things.
Yeah, just pull all the measurements down as far as you can. Not the height though.
Okay,
I want it to be like very tall.
Tiny arms. Is this length? That's bulk?
Yep. Take her bulk. Yeah.
No bulk.
No bulk.
None.
And then you can even go further. Oh no, that's further. Okay. And then build will take her down, so she skinny, muscular. No, that's
literally
that's
just
illegal. Bust, no. Waist, no. Curves, no, thank you.
No.
Booty, no, thank you. Now she just looks kind of sad.
Yeah, she's a goddamn lit. Of course she does.
All right, that's everything except height.
All right, so height, I want us to extend height. So first off, I think we can add a little to the bust, just a little bit.
Sure.
Like give her like a solid B. You know, like we don't need anything major.
It's so hard to tell. That looks fairly normal.
Right. It's because the other numbers are turned down.
Yeah.
So you're not going to get and that's perfectly fine.
Okay.
We'll see what it looks like if depending on her clothing.
Yeah, that could adjust it
later.
Too. And then height, there's a little scale that they have here. Open that up.
Yeah, we want her tall. I want her tall and imposing.
Right now she's at about how tall?
Standard human height.
Okay.
Yeah, let's get her to like Minotaur height. Let's give her an extra foot.
Now the proportions look so funny. He's got like a tiny head. I love it. Now just because she's tall, it's hard not to look like she's just
stacked.
Yeah, she looks like she's kind of just
Yeah, well, I think we can I think we're good there.
Yeah.
No. I think we've got her. Big old crazy lady. All right, what's next?
Next is wings, and we have a lot of options, so I'll have to slow down a little bit and we can look at them.
So there's if you've got an option for like triple wings or something like that, I want to use that.
Triple wings. Okay. I'm not sure they have an option for. Let's see. Let's look down and see the most potentially angelic.
Right. And Wing XL is going to give you a much better result than the other ones.
Yeah, I think so too. So probably something like, ooh, there's demonic feathered wings.
I know we want angelic.
There's also bony angelic.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
See, I think what I'd like is I'd like to have the wings representative of like truly angelic. Like I don't want all of it to be corrupted. I want to imbue it with that difficulty and that struggle, that internal struggle, so that while there are parts of her that are, falling apart, all of that, the wings can in fact
look nice.
Yeah.
So there's those, and there's those set above that. Is that mechanical?
Those mechanical.
Oh, okay. Those aren't mechanical. Those are the large outreach. What oftentimes people think of as angelic.
Ooh, I like those.
Yes, there's these. I think those are probably the best options. Like,
I think so also.
The rest kind of look, the rest of the extra large look fairy or mechanical.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So.
I think for what you're looking at, Kyle, those might give you the best choice. They're also really nice because they give you gradient, a beautiful gradient that you can play with when it comes to color.
Yeah, that makes me happy. Yay! All right, what's next?
The next is tail.
Okay, so we don't need the tail.
No tail.
And then extras, which look to be.
Oh, that's like fins and stuff like that.
Yeah, fins or a turtle shell, something like that.
No, we're good on those.
Right. And then the next overarching category is clothing. So we do have a number of presets, but we can also adjust from the presets each individual piece.
So I feel like some sort of fabulous rope is really the way to go with this.
Typically what I like to do is I like to start with a preset and then adjust pieces as needed.
So I'm thinking, since there is decay on the various parts of the body, if we can do something that shows off some of that decay, I think that would be fabulous.
Do you have a beautiful long gown with a slit, perhaps?
Yeah, let me look.
I know that there are some in there that are like the kind of things where it's like they cover the hips and then there's like the panel in front and the panel in back and the legs are exposed.
Actually, I know what you're talking about. Hold on. Let me find it real quick in the leg. This guy, I believe.
Yeah, there's always with a good fabulous robe.
I think that's.
I mean, I'm definitely down with like the duster thing, but
There you go.
yeah, absolutely. We can do that.
Right. Let's go back up to. Is she going to be wearing a headpiece?
I feel like a headpiece would be better than a halo in this situation.
I
It would cover
agree.
up the bun.
Let me go ahead and just take off the halo. The headpiece will probably get rid of the bun, but we can take a look. If we do something with the open top, that could work, such as something like this. Well, I don't think it will get rid of the hair. Yeah, so something like that could. Oh. Okay.
A headband, a crown, a diadem.
Yeah, something like that.
Won't get rid of the hair.
A periapt.
Some option.
It's such a delightful word. I do love that word, periapt.
I learned that was a word from D&D because I had the periapt wound closure. I had never heard that word in any other context.
One day I want to wear one out. But you have to have like your hair done up and you have to have it hooked in. All that kind of stuff. Like I'm not like that's only a special occasion thing.
There's a queen's crown, but that looks. Oh, I'll wait for it to catch up. But I think that looks pretty cool. Option. It does kind of get rid of her bun though.
It gets rid of her bun.
I don't think it's flashy enough. Honestly, if we're gonna do something big and crazy on her head, I'd like it to be, some crazy priestess top,
Sure.
And yeah, and I think the hair I think says more about her personality.
Yeah.
Than the crown.
Yeah. Well, the other thing I like to do, as well as add color to the character itself, add pre-colored character or pre-color to the clothing as well. So I think that helps. Let me just go and do that. You go to themes, wait for it to catch up, and we can choose a potential theme. And we can adjust it individually, but this will help with the look of it. Over here, so we have purple. We go through them kind of slowly. Tell me when to stop if you love one.
Part of me, at least for picking, I would want to say go that yellow.
Yellow?
Because it's going to show a lot of contrast on the screen of the viewers at home. We can always change it later.
Totally. Yeah, we can do that. Let's do that yellow because this is just a starting spot. Anyway.
Right, and you can get a good idea of a better idea of through the contrast what the fabric pieces look like.
Yeah, and then you can see like in the crown here, it looks like there's 3 different variations of color you can add within it. So it kind of tells you what options you have. What about this one? I had this one up for a little bit. This crown, it's kind of. It is in her forehead, which I don't love, but it is kind of like. Big.
It comes up in front of the hair but leaves the hair intact.
Yeah.
I do like that. Is there anything that gives you a similar vibe? It's like bigger and leaves the hair intact?
Let me scroll through real quick and just. There wasn't anything that looked obvious, but I could try some things real quick and then.
Phantom wants to see the dress in red.
Dress in red. Okay, yeah, I can do that. Red dress. I think that's probably the best red. Well, I mean, if Phantom wants it, we gotta provide. How it works.
Oh, I hate that red.
But we don't have to leave it, right? It's just to help us.
I was thinking like a crimson, not a sort of burnt umber.
I can adjust it on the fly really quick.
This is the part where you're just so thankful when that your producer is able to navigate these things and really
Right.
knows what he's doing. So that you're awesome, Lando. Keep being
Thank
awesome.
you. No, I don't like
Instead of cloth,
that. Might be a little better.
head over to either paint or gem.
Gem? That's
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
this
you
is
get some
something that I
iridescent stuff.
do. This is something that I do when I'm doing minis. Is that like, a lot of people will be like, "Oh, it's a cloth, so I have to keep it a cloth," and I was like, "You don't."
no, you 100% don't.
Like, you can absolutely have. I love like a good gem tone, like a sash or belt, like some sort of amazing
Here, actually,
component.
So this gets kind of in the crazy thing, and we were gonna do this a little later, but that's fine. We can show how to do this now. But without getting too far ahead of myself, you can actually have a combination of 3 colors, and you can mix them. Go here, and you hit mix, and we can adjust it to be more crimson-esque. And
I definitely feel like she would wander around in like straight up, like just as we used to call it, a fuck me red dress. Like there is just that perfect crimson.
I think that color is mighty close to crimson there.
with that. Do we want it shiny? That's the question.
Let's get to that later.
All right.
All right, so where were we?
All right, we were at clothing and looking at the head crowns. We were looking for one that was potentially more over the top than this one, that still left her hair intact.
I think if we pick the right color for that one's going to look good.
That's kind of what I suspect as well.
It just needs to stand out from her hair.
Yeah.
Right now her hair is white. We could choose a different color for her hair.
I believe that's going to be the closest one to keeping her hair intact and not seeing on that.
My knowledge of the system says it will be too.
I think white is absolutely the way to go with Kilnar. Yeah.
We could do a crystal crown. I could toggle that real quick and see how that looks. Nope. I already hate that so much. But I'll let you guys look at it.
There's
She loses all her hair and
oh yeah, no then.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Moving on. All right.
Go back to the horn crown.
Right. Then we have shoulders, which are, essentially pauldrons, which, depending on what you choose for her.
I could totally see. So I have this image of her with like some fabulous sort of like bandolero that's actually her component pouch, where it's just all of these, like, instead of bullets in there, it's all of these like bits of things she needs for her spells. But I could absolutely see like a single pauldron. Like, I don't want them on both sides.
Okay. That's great because we can do that. Oh no. Honey, please, I love you, but please go stop. Oh my goodness. Okay.
Is this a kitty?
I'm fighting. No, it's a extension. A Chrome extension that's
you can love your Chrome extensions.
You can,
they're great. They're great.
So there's a lot of different pauldron options.
I want something. She knows that she's heading into battle. So something with spikes, something that is at complete odds with the beautiful wings.
Okay,
that's what I'm going for here.
Perfect. Okay, that makes sense.
Everything on her, aside from the wings, should be Lich heading into battle.
That is so big.
What?
Oh my gosh. Because her frame is so tiny, the pauldron is just disgustingly huge on her.
I'm probably good with this.
Okay.
We'll see when it catches up. I don't know yet.
Oh, I mean, it should.
Yeah, no, I'm so far. I don't know why I'm this far behind.
Oh, God. Okay. Sorry, I'm also looking at the stream and trying to gauge it based on the stream that I'm seeing.
Yeah.
But
Oh,
I didn't
wow.
even realize you're more delayed than that.
That's
So
like
that
wow
I so
pauldrons.
I don't like that pauldron, but I'm totally good with that size.
Okay.
Near the top, there was one that was metallic but had like a lot more like graceful, wavy sort of
Oh,
spikes.
Yeah.
Oh.
And part of me wants to see that on her. You see it there? Yeah.
There's that
Just-
one, and then there's this one too. Oh, you can't see my mouse.
Nope.
This one.
Yeah.
I don't like that
Again.
one as much. Actually, I can fix that in stream. Hold on. That'll be helpful, actually.
Yep.
Yeah.
Capture.
I'm
That
not
was
so
a
much-
tortoise shell.
I want something that's like a little less graceful than that, a little more spiky.
Hmm.
Oh yeah, Bali. I like that idea. Doing one, and then doing the other, so you can see how they look on either side.
Oh, that makes sense. Yeah, we can choose which one. Sorry, now you can see my cursor. Okay. You said this one was the best one so far?
Let me see. So I'm seeing the one that still has spikes on.
All of them have had spikes on it so far, but
Mhm.
I think you're talking about the previous one. Give it a sec. This one, just one from the top. And this kind of feels kind of angelic, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, it's enormous, but...
I mean, it's not quite there for me.
Mhm. Yeah, I can take a look.
Definitely.
We didn't even get down to quite the end yet. We can... Oh.
All right, so you're in clothing, right?
Yeah.
All right.
If you refresh your stream, it might catch up a little bit, potentially.
Maybe. Let's see.
Ooh,
See what's going.
I like that one.
And now let's see. Do we not have music?
We do on my end. When I did the screen
Mhm.
share, I forgot to reshare it. Let me change that for you.
Oh.
There you go. Alright, we
Alright,
did some improvising. It's a little scuffed, but you know.
All right, so. All right.
Points a blade on that.
Bali, yes, we can do it. We can do each side differently as well. I believe. Yep. Honey?
And all right, there's a couple that I'm seeing here that I think might be interesting.
Sure.
There's one is towards the top.
Okay.
It is what looks like sort of the Chinese armor one.
Here's another one. What? If you mouse hover it, it'll tell you the name.
Elven heavy armor pauldrons.
Elven heavy armor pauldron.
I think that one might be interesting.
Oh, okay, that was one. Okay, so you got that one.
Let me see. I think, can we just do one of those? Because I think that might be, like, I like that. But let me see. The other one is the Pauldrons of Vicious Blades.
That's towards the bottom. Yeah.
And then finally the Samurai Dragon Sode. That's like almost all the way at the bottom. Yeah, okay, so I think the second one, the blades one. I think the blades one is definitely the one. It's sharp.
Yeah.
It gets the point across.
There's also a lot we could do with the color.
Yeah. So just have that one up.
And nothing on her right.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right. What's
now,
next?
for arguably one of the most important is the chess piece.
Yay.
Ew.
So now we can switch from this one, which is more peasantish, and we can go with something more dignified.
Yes.
Absolutely.
And then there is a under, over, and neck piece. I don't know exactly how they all interact. I think some of them you can layer, but I'm not sure about all of them.
Some of them you can layer.
Yeah.
So let's go to over first. And there are, so I feel like ornate robe top. Might
Maybe
be
something with her arms exposed so you can see the rock a little.
Yeah. I like the collar on the ornate robe top. That makes me happy. What else? We've got, what is this? Is that a thing? Is this a thing? I'm curious if this is a thing. No, it's not a thing. I thought it was not.
All right.
I thought it would be cool. I was wrong. I was just wrong about it. Let's see. All right. So are there any in the under portion? Are there any with a fabulous collar? I don't feel like there are. Not with like that pop collar look.
No, nothing that big, I don't think.
Yeah, I think we have to go with the over there.
I wonder if there's something we can combine with it.
There might be under neck piece.
You what?
There might be under neck piece.
Oh, that's true.
This
No, there's nothing in the neck
really showing up.
that'll give you that. It looks like.
Yeah, they're all collars. Neck brace, just in case,
Which is always fun.
Always fun.
All right, so we've got.
Oh no, I didn't.
I think under is there. Can we do under since it's covering everything mostly anyway? Is there an under that sort of shows off most of it?
Oh, that's kind of interesting. If you do the cocktail dress top with necklace, the only thing it shows is the necklace.
Oh, well, that's cute.
But I've tried a couple of them, and most things. Ooh, hold on. Oh, that's kind of interesting. I want to catch up. If we did the, I don't even want to gorget. And
it's a gorget.
Gorget. I knew when I said it, I was so wrong, but I was like,
gorget,
it's a gorget.
Yeah, gorgets are great. Everybody loves a good gorget.
So,
yes, a gorget is designed to protect your neck in large armor.
Gotcha. Yes, so gorget and neck wrap. So that shows a bit of a collar. You could argue that might be a little bit too much with what's going on there.
I would say gem-covered choker would be the way to go.
Under or under the neck?
The neck.
Okay, let's try that. Gem-covered choker.
I think gem-covered choker, because then you've got like all these different layers where you'll have the necklace and the choker and then the crown. So everything gets separated.
A little on the small side, but what about the one with pearls? the jeweled choker with pearls. It's a little bit bigger. And we can color however we want, so it doesn't have to be pearls. That's just what it says.
Let's see. Yeah, that could work.
Can I ask a small thing?
Oh my god.
We have the
Yes, of
choker
course.
with medallion. That's in.
What would you like to ask?
Can you remove the undershirt? She's still covered.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering too.
There is no undershirt.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I took it off already. Mostly because a lot of times it'll clip. The default one we had wasn't clipping, but I just removed it just in case.
Okay.
Yeah, so let's do the one with the pearls.
Okay. Like that too.
She needs something to clutch.
Ah.
The neck brace. Okay, that was funny. All right, and then the next one, if we like that and we want to solidify that, next one's gloves.
I don't think we need gloves. I think that might be a bit much.
Yeah. There are rings and some ornamental things under the glove category that we can add, but
All right, let's look at this. I feel like, what's that? That's a bunch of rings.
there's some bracelets and wristbands as well.
I think we could do the rings, but I think that'll be it.
Okay.
I don't think we can do too much more there without it just getting clogged.
Yeah,
Right.
no.
And we don't want to hide her nature.
Oh, this also
Yeah.
It does all 4 rings. Maybe you do on one hand, because it looks like she's got.
Brass
Yeah,
knuckles.
it kind of does.
I'm
Looks
down.
like she's gonna punch you in the freaking throat.
She will.
All
I
right,
mean,
punching
cool,
is
perfect.
definitely-
This is Kiel Nasi.
And I believe we can color them individually as well. So
Yeah.
we can leave that. And yeah, so she'll punch you in the throat. I think we already have a good thing going with the legs.
Yeah, let me see. So we've got
This one looks
thing.
rather scandalous. I don't know about that one.
What did you do?
I did the loincloth and train, but it just looks like she's about to do sumo wrestling.
Wow, yeah, that's not
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 flattering
great.
at all.
That's not great. I feel like there's one that is like a longer flowing thing.
There might. I looked for the one with the slit. There might be one that's long.
Right.
Ooh, pants with layered cloth. We could try that.
That's what I was just looking
Oh,
at.
I hate the colors.
But
We
it
can
covers-
fix that.
But the
Oh,
thing is,
it gives her bottom pants.
as opposed to top pants, is that
Yeah.
that a thing for you?
Yeah, top pants.
You and your top pants. Yeah. No, I hate those top pants. They're terrible.
I think that, yeah. Okay. I think those are the best legs. For the best, yeah, the best.
Yeah.
The best leg
Yeah,
wear.
I think it gives a sense of movement and freedom without covering up what's really going on,
Yeah. Feels the same.
without being, without it being. She wants to be classy and have freedom of movement
Yeah.
and not look like a, filthy hussy. All right, so I'm definitely feeling high heels on Kiel
High
Nasi.
heels.
Like, definitely.
We have some right
Yeah,
there.
she's not tall enough.
Well,
already.
those are some like battle high heels, but let's see if
Yeah,
there's.
absolutely.
Oh my.
My guess is the other are probably more modern high heels, but we can look.
I'm like scrolling down and I'm not really seeing. Oh, there we go. There are some like, oh, there's some like high heel pumps and things.
Oh yeah.
You know what? I'm curious
Well, there's some
about.
high heel boots.
Yeah, that's what I was looking at. Ooh, what are these boots? Oh no, those are tech. I don't want those.
Well, the thing with tech is I've actually used it in some things, and if you color it right, you can make it look like not tech. Is an option.
I'm curious
Oh
about.
no, okay, yeah, those are too.
You know, part of me is here for these over the knee boots.
Oh, okay.
You know, where it's just like she's uh
There's also the uncovered heel boots. Those are a little bit more in between. It's about 5 down from the over the knee.
Oh, I see.
And then there's over the knee armor boots.
I like the cloth because she's ew. What is? Or oh damn, the tall lace.
Yeah, I just saw that one too.
Yeah.
Or the tall
That could
frill
definitely
boots. I don't like that.
Yeah.
My vote's for the uncovered heel boots, but that's just me.
I'm good with that.
We could do some cool things with the color. There's a lot of different color options.
And then we don't need a mask.
We don't.
So we're good.
Yeah,
all right, so now
the
the gear.
4 options still. Gear. All right. So this is where it gets
fun.
It gets interesting. Yeah, there's tons of different options. So hands, so active hands. You have hundreds of things.
Yeah. All right, so I'm gonna look at spell effects first.
Okay.
Yeah, go to spells. I was gonna say the same thing. She might not carry a big sword, although putting a giant sword on her would be weirdly appropriate as a solar.
Well, yeah, like because the solars have their crazy ass swords. Let me see. Is this? All right, so I'm looking at a couple of things. I like the sort of lightning themed ones that are a lot of like right angles and stuff. Because they go that I feel like that fits with Kiel Nasi and goes against the wings. Let me see. There's yeah, I like, let's see. All right, there we go. The summon lightning.
Yep, I got that one.
I think that'll be that looks delightful.
Phantom is suggesting a wand or a staff.
Let's see. So is there?
So I'm pretty sure you could add spell effects to a staff or a wand.
Let me see. All right. So if we're gonna leave the spells and go, there we go. Staff. No, there is. I don't like the snake one. It's a little too busy. There's a bunch of ones with like gems. There's a couple skull ones. Let's see. Oh, you've got flags. That's fun. That's super delightful. Let's look at. Oh, what's this? Oh no.
Oh, there's an infernal hand staff that we can color.
I just saw that. Yeah. All right. I think infernal hand staff is definitely a thing. And then there's the spell effects.
We could add lighting to it.
Let's see. There's flame. There's ice. Oh, that looks too much like wings.
Yeah. I would look for something you could put inside. Yes, inside the hand. There you go. That.
Yeah. We'll let Cal catch up, but I think that looks good too. And we can adjust the colors of everything. But I think.
Yeah, I'm here for it. All right, and now we do need on her back, and I want to keep the other hand empty because like
Spells.
already a lot going on.
Yeah.
All right, I feel like on the back, is there not a giant sword for the back?
Yes.
No, there is. It's back. It's under back items. You could do any item.
Oh, back items. Okay.
So where's the biggest?
There we go.
Where's the biggest fucking sword you can find? So we have
Go to
holy
the XL.
great sword.
Anything listed as an XL is the way to go.
Yeah, there are a couple of XLs in there, aren't there?
Yeah. Get the Raven great sword.
There we go. All right, let's see.
I kind of honestly, the holy great sword kind of fits. Or you could do a bone
one is
great
it?
sword. Holy great sword.
Well, I feel like that's what we would do. The scrap metal greatsword I do love. I love the way that
Metal
looks.
great. Oh, there's more. They're kind of got the broad, got the heroic. I guess I can search it.
Oh, there's
Spell.
more.
So many more.
The heroic. I mean,
Oh.
the heroic broadsword is very pretty. I feel like that fits with the theme really well. I think it would either be
Yeah.
that one or
I was thinking the bone one as well. It could be. It depends on whether we want the sword to be Lich or Archon. It's kind of what it comes down to. I feel like.
well, it's solar. The sword is
I
specifically
mean, Solar. Solar. That's what I meant. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Then the bone one is more Lich. Honestly, I don't think that one's as cool as the holy one.
Yeah, I
think
like the holy
one
one.
is designed better.
Yeah. Let's do holy one, and I think we should be good.
Mm-hmm.
Eyes. I don't think
everything else.
eyes, mouth,
Yeah. No.
rings, piercings. It's not. Yes, that's right. It is not weird to have wings and a backsword. Don't question
No.
it. She's a Solar. She can
No.
do it. She can do
How
it.
dare you?
Yeah.
I mean, if I can pretend to be an elf, I can pretend I can have wings and
Yeah.
a sword on my back too.
Oh,
Every Final Fantasy game has taught me that you can have wings and a giant sword.
Wonder how these just all look way too busy. It'd be cool to have a spell effect on her sword on her back, but it's too busy.
Yeah.
I think.
Attention.
Okay, so now
She looks fucking terrifying.
We don't have a pose on her though.
Oh yeah, that gets into the all the kinds of things because there's default poses, but you can also customize so much of the poses. There's been times where I spent hours trying to get the perfect pose.
Yep.
It can get.
I think today we don't need to spend
No,
quite that
no.
much.
That was more of just a glowing, positivity about how cool this is.
Absolutely.
Because I'm not an artist. I could never create a character, period. But this allows me to have the tools where I'm like, oh, I could take something, and I think you said something similar earlier, is I could take something from my head and put it in so people can see what it looks like.
I love it.
Which is great.
All right, so let's do. I like the power up pose. I think that would be the best in this situation.
Up. Oh, power up. Oh, she's like, hey, bro, give me a fist pound.
I think, can we switch the staff?
Yeah, totally.
Your other
It'll
hand.
just take a sec.
And then we'll have that. That would be fabulous.
Oh, I was looking under swords. Staff. The hand staff. Oh no, that's on her back. Oops. Hold on. I messed it up. Give me a sec. Let me fix it. Holy sword. Hands. Nope, and yeah. And
There we go. All right,
add
awesome.
the effect. Perfect. All right.
All right, so I think now we can head over to coloration.
All right. Here, this is gonna. Well, I guess we don't have to mess with it. All right. Coloration. So this is cool because you can do the themes as we already kind of saw. You could adjust everything. You have paints where you could take colors and just add them wherever you like, or you can take and you can mix each color that's on the character already and adjust the hues of it.
I think let's so first off, I want us to get this red correct because this is still not the correct red. When I say crimson, I mean like bright red, like bright.
Gotcha.
Deep,
I was thinking
red.
like blood color.
Blood is not crimson.
Okay. Right.
Blood, so arterial blood, when it comes out immediately out of the body, is crimson, but most people don't ever actually see that color. Because it requires that an enormous amount of blood actually is coming out. Like when you cut your fingers, it's already oxidizing by the time it wells to the surface, so it's a darker color red than it would normally be. So yeah, it's so
that might be
so
the
first. I think what are you using? Are you using a cloth color or are
I'm
you
using
a different
gemstone color.
Okay, I think that there's an issue with the gemstone color.
Sure. We can.
It's not doing the thing that it should. So I'm gonna head over to the paints. Let's see. Yeah, what you've got going here is sort of a light brick, you know, like moving into like a pink. Let me see. I think I want to look and see if there's something. Yeah, I am not.
Here, let me just look up crimson on another
There we
thing.
go. Blood plate. Let's see what blood plate looks like.
Blood plate.
That's in metals.
Oh, I like the shine of that. I might not need to do anything with that.
Yeah, I mean, we could go slightly darker on it if we wanted to.
But then you get rid of the contrast. The contrast is the thing, right?
Yeah.
That's what plays off the eyes.
So I think, yeah, I do like the blood plate.
I made it just a touch darker. We can always up it if we want, but again, I'm not exactly sure where you are in the process, so I'll give you a sec to let it make sure it's.
Yeah, that should be fine.
Okay.
There is so the background of all of this is going to be the wings. So let's get the wings set up.
Okay.
What color do we want the wings to be?
I mean, white.
Solar
right?
wings are either white or blue or like a bluish green.
Could we do white with hints of blue?
I think that would be totally fine.
So it looks like there's two colors and then we gradiate them. So let's find hair, platinum white, and then we look at, okay, thank you.
And then the blue needs to be like a seafoam, like almost a greenish.
Right.
Like something, yeah, very light like that, like a powder, I think would be fabulous.
And then I can change the mix, more have. Something like that. Catch up.
Yeah, I like that light blue. I think that that's delightful. What it means is that we're gonna have to shift the color of the lightning and all that good stuff.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
if we've got,
I'm assuming we'll do all that.
if what we're playing off of here is that it's this light, beautiful blue in the wings, then everything else should be like these really strong, strident colors.
Mm.
You know. So nothing sort of light and cute Kielnasi. Like I feel like Kielnasi is just draped in like, you know, crimson velvet type thing with these light blue wings going out the back. There's so let's do, so the pauldron, I think first, just absolute black. Like as close as you can get to like, what is that? Is it Panta black?
You want it shiny black or like matte black?
Like matte, like it's absorbing the color.
Okay.
Something that goes in direct contrast with the wings. Yeah, you can do like a very matte black with then like a tiny little bit of shine as a highlight.
Okay, let's see if I can.
So what I would do is do a black plastic or a black metal. Either one of those will give it like a little more shine.
Yeah, I did the metal, but it's not super shiny.
Then I'd go with the black plastic then.
There we go. I can adjust the roughness so it's a little bit shiny.
Awesome.
Yeah, semi-gloss. Yeah, Phantom gets it.
Make her. So what I would say is because she lives on the side of a volcano, the majority of the stuff that she's going to be wielding is going to be created from volcanic rock.
Yeah.
So like the pauldron and the staff, make them both the same material.
Oh yeah. Totally.
So that it's all black, and then use that same black to sort of like bring the whole outfit together. Use that same black for all of the buckles and things like that on belts and chokers and stuff.
I'll leave the crown for now because that might be, but I think oh, the buttons, I think, and then I have the choker like material that goes around her neck and not the actual centerpieces of it, but I have that black as well.
Yeah. All right.
I think.
Awesome.
Oh, we should adjust the sword a little bit too. Make that.
So
black.
the sword should be angelic.
Okay.
So it should be that same sort of, if you're doing a color scheme, my suggestion would be that the sword would be like a crystal blue.
Okay. Let's see. Crystal blue.
So the Kielnasi, the lich parts are reds and blacks, and the angelic parts are whites and blues.
I don't love that color. Just a little bit. We can make it a little lighter.
I'd suggest doing, so they've got some gem tones. So in the center, or the fire. See if you've got a blue fire for the center of the sword, and then like a light crystal for the outside of the sword.
Blue fire. Ooh.
Yeah, there should be. Where are my flame ones? Did they get rid of the flame ones?
Oh yeah,
there's
they have
flame.
those.
I see flame. Yeah, let's look at glass stove or odd ice.
Odd ice.
That's the super light blue. I think if you did, so actually we could switch that up. So if you do on the blade of it, the outside of it, do odd ice. That'll give it a nice like bright blue glow.
Yep.
And then in the center of it, do like a crystal blue. Maybe, let's see now. I feel like
we can also adjust the hues of all these.
Ooh, moonstone might be nice.
Yeah, that's what I was kind of thinking.
Or cloud crystal. I think cloud crystal.
Cloud crystal.
Yeah, so do cloud crystal in the center and then the odd ice on the outside, and that should give you this really nice gradient that shows like solid into like just like the blade looks like it's made of pure light.
All right, I'm gonna add that part too. I guess we.
All right, and everybody, as I am still pretty sick, I think I'm gonna call it a little early today. As I am starting to fade real hard over here. There's like, oh, how much longer can Kyle stay upright? I mean, that's a fun charity stream for you. Yeah. How long can Kyle actually maintain a vertical stance? There is. But I want to say thank you to everybody. Thank you so much for being here with us today. Thank you so much to Hero Forge for being absolutely fabulous. I personally am loving the way that Keel Nasi is turning out right now. I think this is gorgeous. Thank you so much for all the well wishes. It's really fabulous. And hey, Connor, where can everybody find you when they are looking all over the intranets?
Well, if you're looking on the internet, you can find me on Twitter easiest at the Healer DM, as in Dungeon Master, one word. You can also find me at my website, thehealerdm.card.com. You can find links to my work and professional DMing and all of that. How about yourself, Kyle? Where can we find you?
Well, you can always find me here at Play Nerd Allies. One of the reasons that we are working on the things that we're working on in this stream is because we are moving towards our season finale of season 2, where the players are going to be facing Keel Nasi here. So I can't wait to ruin their days with this little monstrosity. So super excited about that. In addition, you can find me sort of playing all over the internet in various places. You can also, I am the project manager for the Rolling Together stream team. So you can find me sort of helping out throughout our stream team, doing all kinds of fun things. There's a bunch of really cool projects that we are setting up over the course of the next few months to help bring more and more people of color and Alphabet Mafia people into the space and help them stay in the space by providing them with opportunities and with sponsorships. So we love that. We get sponsored by a fabulous person like Hero Forge, and then we can pass that sponsorship on through the Foundation for Inclusivity in Gaming to fabulous creators of color that then get to stay in the space and do all kinds of fun stuff. So we love that. And thank you all, everybody, again, for bearing with me while I am in recovery. And now we're going to go a rating. We sure are. I think that we should go head over to, so we're gonna raid over to Space Jammer.
Dice giveaway.
Oh, dice. Yes, let's give away some fabulous dice. So everybody take a second, hit ! raffle. I can't believe that I forgot to say that this entire stream. Sick. And after we do that, then we will head over to the Space Jammer. She is doing a fundraiser for Planned Parenthood and other female health clinics to help raise money and ensure that women all over the country can maintain their reproductive health while some crazy shit is going on with the Supreme Court when it comes to Roe v. Wade. So there is. So I want to be supportive of that and help her out. So yes, do we have everybody signed up? All right, let's do it. Let's see what's going on here. Yay! Cotton Candy, send me a note either here and send me a whisper here on Twitch or a note on Discord, and we will get you set up with some fabulous dice. And with that, let us begin our raid, shall we? I think so. I think it'll be fucking delightful. Remember, when we raid, we tell them what we're bringing to the potluck. I am going to be bringing, a perfectly crimson dress to the potluck personally.
I'm bringing lightning death magic.
I love it. Lightning death magic is the way to go. And we will see you all on Tuesday. Mwah!